What if I told you the true power of small groups? That small groups are a system of interaction. That normal group development would require phases. That creativity lives within the team process. What if I told you that your group's diversity would be your biggest strength? That listening and feedback are the other half of communication. That together, you'll make problem-solving decisions. What if I told you that our small group did the unthinkable? 5 people, 28 days, 10,000 fans. Boise State's critically acclaimed 30 for 30, presented by the A-Team, Friday at 11 a.m.
Under the right circumstances, groups are remarkably more intelligent than the smartest person in them. They can accomplish tremendous things together. For us to be successful, our collections of interrelated parts would have to find a way to function as a whole.
With 4 of our 5 group members being the same from the previous project, we already had some cohesion recognized. When groups tend to be more cohesive, members will converse freely and they're more interested in the achievement of the group. Regardless of this pre-existing cohesiveness, though, we still had to engage in the forming process to establish cohesiveness amongst all 5 members.
To choose our project, we had to explore a shared set of meanings, which was problematic because arriving at a shared set of meanings can be difficult. We learned our individual meanings are shaped by our internal states just as much as by our shared group environment. Luckily, we found a shared set of meaning in college basketball.
But how can we relate this to college basketball while highlighting the strengths of every group member and still providing a valuable service or measurable change in the community? First, we had to figure out our strengths.
We can regard strangers as individuals who are different with hostility, or we can treat them as potential friends and important group members. Those who are different may prove to have something valuable to contribute to our group's discussion and to our experiences with the community. Within our group, Anne Michelle had a background in PR, and Dion likes to promote his club for work. Haley and Kyle are both kinesiology students focusing on athletics, and I am a sports broadcaster for the University Pulse BSU radio station. Knowing these diverse strengths then helped us to define a problem that we could all contribute to equally.
Well, we did some research and found out that our basketball team has been struggling with crowd turnouts, barely averaging 50% attendance during the regular season, as opposed to our football team, which packs the stand 90% full every game. The football team managed more numbers despite on an average ticket price over $100 more than basketball ticket price. You could even get a season ticket to a basketball game for cheaper than one football game ticket.
So for our service project, we chose to target the December 2nd men's basketball game versus Willamette and raise attendance for that game to 10,000 people. An attendance number we only accomplished twice in the previous season. We'll call it 10K Wednesday, and that is how we plan to make a measurable change in our community.
Constructively engaging in the conflict can help us produce the energy needed by a small group to develop new and creative ideas. We were now comfortable enough with each other to present our real views and opinions for conflict to occur.
At one point, I questioned the motive behind our chosen service. I had a feeling we could do more than just provide a measurable change, and this conflict arousal officially brought our group into the storming phase. Through my own personal work experience, I knew there was a younger population that had no care or concern for basketball in our community, so we still wanted to see for ourselves why we were still trying to define the problem.
We chose to attend the game against Northern Arizona to get a gauge of a normal game's atmosphere, and what we saw was astonishing.
Home opener for Boise State men's basketball November 16th, taking on Northern Arizona. And the last time Anthony Drimmick officially took the floor at Taco Bell Arena, he poured in 29 in last year's home opener. That was the only game he would play last season, and this is the first of hopefully many this year. He scored 22 tonight, including 10 in the first 6 minutes. Off to a hot start, James Webb III will slice through traffic for a tough layup here. Webb flashed an array of off-the-dribble moves tonight, including this one up, under, up again off the glass. Webb would be another high scorer for the Broncos. Thompson had 12 points in the half, while Boise State was led by Drimmick's 17. Thompson in double figures in back-to-back games for the first time in a year. To the second half we go, where the Lumberjacks continue to pile up three-pointers by the cord. This one brings NAU back to within 3. Shortly thereafter, the Broncos ripped off a 20-2 run over a 5-minute span, going up by 25. Webb would put a punctuation mark on it with his baseline drive. Fouled on one side of the rim, but goes ahead and flushes a filthy dunk on the other side. He finished with 22 points and 11 rebounds for his first double-double of the season. Time winding down in this one, Chandler Hutchison finds Paris Austin for a three-pointer in the corner. Austin's first career three-pointer puts the Broncos over the century mark for the first time in nearly 2 years. The Broncos get their first win of the season, 101-81, behind 22 points from Webb and another 22 from Drimmick.
We didn't just see empty seats. We saw a lack of students in the student section and no younger generations in the crowd.
And Michelle was right. We're missing an entire market at these games that should grow up knowing how good our basketball team is. Our initial perceptual barriers blinded us to the hidden dimensions of the issue. We may be targeting a specific game, but our ultimate goal is more sustained attendance over the course of the season and years to come, far after our project is over. That meant getting kids in the community interested.
Following group meeting, it was obvious our service had to shift focus a bit. We couldn't just complete this project by making a measurable change. We now had to find a way to provide a valuable service to our kids in our community by raising their awareness too. We had to get the kids to the game somehow, but kids don't work and don't have money just lying around to spend on a college basketball game. So we wanted to provide them tickets. Figuring out how to do so posed a real challenge.
Creativity involves the power to originate, to break away from the existing ways of looking at things, to move freely in the realm of the imagination, to create new ideas and strong feelings. Creativity is any form of action that leads to results that are novel, useful, and predictable.
Because we weren't taking the typical approach to our service learning project, we all experienced emotional barriers to generating creativity. We were really going out on a limb and trying something new here. We knew the other groups were taking that classic tactic to making change in the community, and we didn't want to look foolish or have them judge our service as incompetent. Creativity can be a chancy pursuit. We often seek the approval of others rather than risk being wrong. For the sake of creativity and our own personal growth, it's now time to risk being wrong.
While we were talking about how to get the word out about our project, and Michelle happened to be updating one of her Facebook pages. We all took notice and quickly jumped at the opportunity to create a Facebook page for our project. Within no time, our Facebook page, 10K Wednesday Boise State Basketball, was up and generating interest. We hit 100 likes by the second day of running the page.
To build hype around our targeted game and our men's basketball team, we knew that we needed more than just a Facebook page. Dion had just finished working on a promotional video for his job and offered to make us one for the event. After a few hours, he put together a hype video that would assist us in promoting our attendance.
It's all done. Check it out.
Block party on the Comm now. It's redemption time. Are you ready?
Ron working for the Boise State radio station really helped us get the word out over the University Pulse. Hosting multiple shows a week gave us an extra opportunity to encourage our project. He even managed to get Kyle and Dion into the station to promote the game.
Good morning, Boise State. Welcome to the Sideline Sportscast. Today I'm here with my group from Small Group Communications. I've got Kyle in the studio with me. How you doing today, Kyle?
Excellent. It's great to be here.
He's feeling good. Not on camera right now, but he's feeling good. All right, we're promoting 10K Wednesday today. That's December 2nd. Boise State is playing Willamette.
Now we have the promoting them. Word about the game was rapidly spreading, but we still needed a way to fundraise money so we could get tickets for the kids. Examining our constraints in regards to this matter is what made us difficult. We couldn't get free tickets handed out because of the NCAA recruiting violation. We couldn't host a full fundraiser event because of our initial lack of money and time constraints.
So we used a technique we had seen in the previous Comm 356 group video where they tossed a ball around and answered questions written on the ball depending on where their thumb lands. While engaging in this activity, the ball wound up in Haley's hands. She stared at the ball for a second and then proposed to the group that the ball was the answer. We were all confused, and then she said,
What if we get all the players to sign a basketball and we could raffle it off and use some money for the kids?
Sounds like a good idea. I like it. What do you think, Kyle?
Excellent.
It was very clear we were now in the norming phase, where our group really started to emerge, and considering the alternatives of not including the kids, we all agreed that this was the best fundraising idea to move forward with. We had initiated a decision and developed a plan of action. We were all set to start promoting the raffle until Professor Clausen showed up at our group meeting and stated that we were not allowed to handle money as part of our service planning project.
So if you handle money, it's going to cause a lot of bureaucracy.
This posed another obstacle to hurdle, and it was time we started exploiting our own resources.
When we tackle obstacles, we find a hidden reserve of courage and resilience we did not know we had. And it is only when we are faced with adversity do we realize that these resources were always there. We only needed to find them.
We don't have to do all of this alone allows us to properly gather and employ the available resources around us. After banking on our own strengths, we really had to dig deep and reach out. Keying on these resources allowed us to discover more diverse strengths our group came equipped with.
Along with having the radio station to get our word out, I also co-hosted a show with Rylan Cobre, who happened to be a sports team manager in our Boise State Athletic Department. He gave us access to multiple facilities, including the Anguinchola Basketball Complex and the Taco Bell Arena. We gained multiple contacts during our visits through these facilities, too. In our final week leading up to the game, I managed to endorse our project over the radio a few more times as well.
I had a good relationship with a teacher who was a close colleague to our ticket operations director and athletic director, Anita. We set up a meeting with Anita from the ticketing office, which gave us insight on the ticket sales statistics. This allowed our group to better define our problem and gave us a more specific target demographic to reach out to.
Partnered with the school's marketing director, Matt Thomas, to gain access to multiple logos and trademarked items we could use on our Facebook page. We also worked with Matt to offer a 50% off Black Friday sale to all customers on the game we were targeting. This was huge, and reaching our goal was starting to become more realistic.
Through all of my work promotions, I had become close friends with most of the members on the basketball team. I was able to get the basketball signed immediately by the players and even receive their cooperation in promoting the 10K Wednesday game.
The real break came when I reached out to one of my classmates, Caleb, who is the president of our student corral. They're the student section at the basketball games that hype the crowd up and really helped us promote our 10K Wednesday event. They even offered to help raffle and purchase our tickets for the kids so we didn't have to handle any money through the whole process. This resource allowed us to continue our pursuit of providing a valuable service to the community. I also managed to have flyers printed by my mom's workplace over Thanksgiving break. This permitted our group to pursue a last-minute community-wide campaign to reach our goal. We promoted around school the Monday before the game and around the community the Tuesday before the game.
It was very clear during our final push that we had all, come to reach the performing stage, and we were all coming together in that way. We were making decisions. We were We were solving problems. We were really functioning like a well-oiled machine. And it was really great to see everybody's strengths coming out during that final run.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Always shoot for the moon, because even when you're missed, you land among the stars. How did our game go? Well, see for yourself.
Now there was a time when you loved me so I couldn't be wrong. Now you need to know. See, I've been a bad, 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 bad man, and I'm in deep. Yeah, I found a brand new love for this man, and can't wait till you see. I can't wait. So how you like me now? 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 Remember.
The football team went on to win very impressively by a difference of 100 to 36 against the Willamette Bearcats in a record-setting fashion. It was their third 100-point game of the season, the first time in program history doing that, and we're not even a third of the way through the season. They even let Dion take a half-court shot during one of the timeout breaks.
He's in deep focus out there, Bob. This obviously means a lot to him. He shoots. It's going. Wow.
At the end of the day, we didn't quite get to 10,000 people, but it wasn't about protecting the egg. It was about applying the processes of small group communications, and I think that we really succeeded at that. During the process, every member of the group really emerged as a leader in a certain area, and I think everyone's strengths really, really shined through.
Whatever happened to the raffle? Well, due to some unforeseen circumstances in the 12th hour, we weren't able to actually raffle the ball off at this game. Through some resources we gathered along the way, we put together a trade that would save our service. Just when we thought all was lost with our signed basketball, the Bronco Athletic Marketing Department actually offered to trade us our original signed ball for some game tickets. The ball will end up being offered as a prize to some students at a later date. Keep an eye out for that future email in your Bronco account about how you can win the ball at an upcoming game. The tickets we received went out to our IRC contact, as well as local businesses in the area. That trade gave us the opportunity to successfully fulfill our valuable service to the community when we thought hope was lost on the matter. We even chose a lucky young fan at the game to give our free student t-shirt to.
For small groups to be effective, we have to consider our group roles, norms, cohesions, process, and phases of development. But that's not enough. We also need to examine our personal verbal and nonverbal communication and listening styles. To succeed as a member of a team, we need to consider the limits of our own personal experience and perspective, recognize the creative strength of diverse perspectives in making problem-solving decisions, develop our conflict management skills, and strengthen our leadership skills. That's the challenge of small groups in the 21st century. Are you up to it?